Okay, I thought I would make a video talking about things that I learned in therapy. Um so I went to therapy for probably about a year, and that was like at the end of 2017. And a little backstory on that is that um I'd never been to therapy before, and end of 2017, that was my last relationship. I was going through a breakup, and it was like really bad, and it hit me really hard. And I I took it really hard, and at work, like, people were starting to notice. My coworkers and my boss and HR, they all noticed that like I have lost a lot of weight. I'm in like a very unhealthy amount of time, and they could tell that I was like really going through it, and so like they pulled me to the side and they basically like I had to get therapy pretty much like because they were concerned about me. And so yeah, I started going to, they call it like counseling, but it's the same thing. I have this belief that sometimes a breakup can be like a catalyst for like all the trauma and past hurts and stuff in your life that you just kept bottled up for so long, and then like the breakup is the catalyst. Like normal healthy people who are secure, like they can move on from a breakup, and it hurts them and it's really hard to get through, but like they can get through it. And like those of us who are not very healthy or who like have a lot of issues and trauma, a breakup is going to be extremely hard to get through, to the point where yeah. So I think that therapy helped me a lot. I remember when I was going to it, I just felt like I felt so uplifted. Like every time I would walk out of there, I felt like a confidence that I hadn't quite ever known before. And like I was actually doing something. Like I'm actually working on myself, and like somebody's actually listening to me. And I don't know, I just felt like progress, and like I don't know, I felt this, like I can turn my life around, and like I can, my life doesn't have to stay the way that it's always been. Like I can, maybe my life can look a lot better, a lot different in a better way. But the thing about therapy is like it's so expensive, and I feel like it's not affordable for a lot of us. And like that's the case for me, is like I would still go, but and I really feel like I need it because my life has just been, I've not been content with my life for years, a very long time. I have a lot of problems that they just don't go away. You know, if you can try to work on yourself all you want, but I don't know, like it's like too hard to overcome by yourself, I feel like. And like I can watch all the videos I want, I can read all the books I want, but it's like it's still like not going to change my life, I guess. And I just feel, I don't know, like I think therapy really can help a lot. And I wish it was affordable, and I wish like I had the time, because when you work full time, it's like how are you supposed to go to therapy? I mean, the only reason like I was going is because like my boss pretty much made me go, and she was nice and let me like go and then make up my time afterwards, but like I don't have the same boss anymore, and like I don't know. If any of you go to therapy, can you like, is it affordable for you? And like, how do you go? I guess if you work full time, like, how do you manage that? So, like, one of the first things that we worked on was like beliefs that I have, like negative beliefs. And like, one of them is the belief, I have it written down here, that it's wrong slash bad to be the quiet one. Like you write down on the card the negative belief, and then you have to like write on the back of it you challenge the belief. It's like you come up with things that you can challenge that belief. So it's wrong to be, it's wrong and slash bad to be the quiet one. You can challenge that with, but I'm a good listener and we can't all be extroverts. And I share more on a one-to-one level, it says. So those are just some examples, but it's like I think that's called like cognitive, I don't know, cognitive therapy or something. Basically, you're like challenging your beliefs. That was one of the first things that I learned because I have like a lot of negative beliefs and I still do. And another one is like the belief, like it has in quotes here, I should have blank. So like I'm the type of person who says that a lot, uses the word should, like I should feel this way, or I should do this, or I should like and then she told me um I will not should on myself. She was very much of like try to get away from saying should all the time and having that belief like I should. Because should, the emotion behind that is like kind of like guilt or shame. Like you're putting this pressure on yourself. I should. Another thing she taught me is to look at like your behavior in your life and like how you're thinking, what's going on in your mind and like how you're behaving. So, and is that authentic to you or is that authentic to somebody else? So like she gave me the example of like her dad was like very bossy and authoritative and controlling and pretty much told her like how to live her life and stuff like that. And so she uses the analogy that you need to ask yourself is who's driving the bus? Am I driving the bus? Or is my dad driving the bus? Or is my mom driving the bus? Or is this person who really hurt me, are they driving the bus? It's like you have to be in control of your life and you have to make decisions for your life, not having somebody else control you. And I always like that one. I always think about that analogy sometimes, like who's driving the bus? And another thing she taught me that was like pretty eye-opening was about like generational um negative like generational stuff that just trickles down in families and about how like you can be the one to put a stop to it and like I don't know, that was like really eye-opening for me and like you see it in you just see it like all around like people just they just keep repeating the same negative patterns in a family like year after year, decade after decade, and it's really sad to see. And that is like really prevalent and like it's just so easy to just be on autopilot and just well this is how my parents were so I'm just going to that's what I know so I'm just going to act the same way, same beliefs, same everything, no matter how negative and bad it is for your children, it's like they're just repeating on autopilot the same thing and like I don't know if she like used the term like generational curse or something maybe, but it's just this idea that and like she would say tell me like it stops with you and like you can break the cycle and like that to me is so beautiful when parents have the self-awareness enough and just the intelligence and the emotional intelligence and self-awareness to just be like I know that that's what happened to me but that's not okay and I'm not going to do that to my child and it stops with me. I'm breaking the cycle. This has been going on for generations and it's not going to continue and like I won't have it. And that to me is like so powerful and beautiful when people and parents have just like I said the self-awareness to be able to do that. And like you're never going to be a perfect parent, but like to do that for your child, that's like so beautiful. And I just found this list of examples of cognitions. And this, she has written at the top here, look self in the eyes. So this must mean like you look in a mirror. That was one thing we were doing too, is like practicing, like, it's called mirror work. So when you have like somebody like me who has a poor self-esteem, um, like low worth, and like you don't really love yourself, like there's like a whole list here of like um they're called negative cognitions. So you can like look in the mirror and like pick out the ones that you find yourself saying because we all have that like inner critic that likes to say really horrible things to ourselves. We all have it, like no matter how healthy we are. It's just those of us who have pitiful self-esteem. Ours is like really loud and really mean. I shouldn't laugh about that because it's kind of sad, but like, um, I forgot about this actually. I should probably try these again. But some of these on this list, basically, you look at the negative cognition that you say, and then it has the corresponding positive cognition. So, like, I am stupid. I have intelligence would be the positive cognition. I'm a bad person. I am a good, loving person. I am terrible. I am fine as I am. I am worthless, inadequate. I am worthy. I am worthwhile. I am permanently damaged. I can be healthy. That's one that I say a lot to myself. I am permanently damaged. I cannot be saved. I'm a hopeless cause. The positive is I can be healthy. Just takes a lot of work, I guess. I am insignificant, unimportant. I am significant, important. A lot of these is just like saying the reverse. I am not in control. I am now in control. I am weak. I am strong. I am a disappointment. I am okay just the way I am. I deserve to be miserable. I deserve to be happy. Oh, I like that one. I have that belief for sure. I cannot get what I want. I can get what I want. I like that one too. I have to be perfect, please everyone. I can be myself, make mistakes. That's a big one too. Like I relate with a lot of these on this list. Too many of these. I am ugly, my body is hateful. I am fine, attractive, lovable. I should have done something. I did the best I could. I cannot trust anyone. I can choose who I trust. Oh, that's a big one for me. That's a big one for me. I say that a lot that I cannot trust anyone. I have that belief. I like how that's put too, like rather than just say like the positive that of I cannot trust anyone rather than saying like I can trust people. I like that it says I can choose who I trust. I like that way better. That's the healthy thing to think. And then I just found this card here. Like I said, the reason I went to therapy was because I was going through a breakup. Rather, like I had been ghosted is what actually happened. But I consider that like my breakup point. But he did come back. Um, this is interesting. Um, I had this belief I wrote down on this card, he is with someone else. So when I got ghosted and stuff, and he just stopped talking to me. We were in a relationship too, by the way. So my therapist told me to challenge that belief with, no, I do not have proof. I will wait and see. And while that is the healthy way to think, I don't disagree with this, but this is a clear indication that my intuition was dead on. And yeah, I've told this story many times on here, but I found out on Facebook like quite some time later um, that he had gotten engaged to this girl while he was still with me and while he was still talking with me, being with me, inappropriate things that if you have a fiance that you do not do with somebody else. So um yeah, wow. That card, um I knew all along. My intuition, that's why you need to listen to your gut feelings and your intuition, because most of the time it's going to lead you, you're correct. If you have a really bad feeling about something like that, you're usually right. If you look at the signs. Um, that's why I made that other video, what to do, or when somebody leaves you for someone else. Um, that, what I just explained there, like, I get comments all the time on that video about the people telling their situations, and it's like very sad to me, and like I empathize so much because like I know exactly how they feel. And like the thing that like really like breaks my heart though is the people who are like so heartbroken that they say things like, I would give anything to have her back, or I would give anything to have him back. And I want to beg for them back, and I wish they'd give me a second chance. And like that breaks my heart so much because um that's really sad, because you shouldn't want that person back. It doesn't matter like how long that you were with them, and it doesn't matter all the good memories that you have with them and all this and how they made you feel, and even if they made you feel loved and cared about and stuff like that. If they are willing to like throw you away like yesterday's trash to be with somebody better, like you should never ever want that person back. And it's an incredibly hard time to go through. That's why I went through therapy, is like that is so hard to go through, especially like a lot of us we've been through it already. We've already been through the ringer. We've already had trauma, and like that is just like the betrayal of that is it's so hard to get through that. And you just have to be so kind to yourself, and you have to be so strong, and it feels like you feel so weak and like powerless, and like you just like you can't even go on. But like that's when you have to be your strongest, is when somebody leaves you for somebody else, because you don't have a choice but to be as strong as you possibly can. Another one I wrote down, a belief. This is a common belief that a lot of us have. Will I never find someone else? And then you can challenge that with, no, I can succeed. No, I can succeed at a loving relationship. That's one that we struggle with a lot. Those of us who are single and we've been single for quite some time, we struggle with that one probably more than anything, that belief. Oh, and I completely forgot. There was one more thing that that I just thought about, that um I any of you who have done therapy, or like there's this thing that's really common practice in therapy. What's it called? It's like childhood meditations, but it's like basically it's like where you um meditate and picture yourself when you were a child, and it's actually even more, it's more helpful if you can remember a specific point in time of when you experienced trauma or just really bad things that created issues in you now as an adult. If you can picture yourself at that age, it's even more helpful. But even if you can just picture yourself as a child, um, and then you picture yourself as an adult as you are now, and you like hug yourself as a child and you like comfort yourself as a child and say all these things like it's going to be all right and you don't have to be like this anymore, and it's this meditation of like doing that. I forget there's what that's called, but it's something like comforting the inner child. But like that, it was always extremely uncomfortable for me, and like I just never really could do it. I don't know if other people, a lot of people like seem to really like that method. Um, but like that's was so, I just could never get into that. But it has to do with the idea that your inner child is still very much a part of you and still um affects your behaviors and your thoughts and everything, and like in a negative way, because like you went through stuff as a child, and so then as an adult you're still carrying all that bullshit around with you, and like um you have to like, it's about this concept of like letting that go. Like you don't let the memories go because it's a part of you, but like you you don't let that like, again, like driving the bus of your life. Like you're not letting that scared little girl or that scared little boy or that traumatized little girl, traumatized little boy like run your life anymore. And like, because as adults we can be very reactionary to um just how we grew up, as we can be stuck there like emotionally and mentally. And I really see that not just in myself but in a lot of other people. um you can really get stuck there, and that's an unhealthy place to be. And it's a lot, just a lot harder to at life when you're stuck there in that very hurtful place of being a child. Okay, well, I hope that this video made sense. If you want to share anything, that if you have gone to therapy and there's anything that you want to share that's really helped you, I'd love to hear about that.